Hey guys and girls, what's going on? This is Dalsu, back with some more Banished. And yeah, everything's going well. Despite my many attempts to sabotage things, I think we're okay. All good down on the Bayou. So we got some ducks, and we want to get their sweet, sweet feathers, so we're going to stick them in this big-sized pasture down here. And then we'll kind of tie all this stuff in. Yeah, I like that, and I like that. Now we're starting to get a little civilization down here in the sticks. We have to make use of our space, you know. This is off limits to us because of all the forester and stuff. At least for right now. We can always move him over here and then take over the space, which is what we'll do in the fullness of time, really. But yeah, there's not a lot of land to go around. We've got some. We're gonna just have to be a little precious about it. Alright, I want to turn this guy onto rope, but I don't really have enough laborers. Rope is worth 35 freaking trade. Look at that. I had no idea. That's gotta be a bug. Rope that valuable in real life? I don't think so. I'm gonna have to check my local hardware store and confirm. Alright, so the builders should be able to finish that and finish some of this road that I've got laid out here. Different places. Food looks good. Ratio could be slightly better. We're at 19 out of 49, so we need, you know, 5 more kids to have the ratio the way we like it. Uh-oh, we're running out of stone. Okay, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this day would come. That's going to call for a quarry, but not yet. Look at all this stone over here. Issue an order for that stone. That's not going to be much. There will be some. There's also stone down here, so we're not going to have to put in a quarry for a little while. Because quarries, like, suck up manpower, man. Big time. And we are low on manpower right now. And I'm probably going to put in some more houses, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to give these guys a chance to catch up on all the stuff I've told them to do. You know, we could also use a church. I'm noticing happiness start to dip. They probably are ready for a church, too. That requires a lot of stone. I probably was a little overzealous with all this road building. That's just kind of a waste of stone at this point. But I wanted it to sort of all be tied into my network here. Why? Oh, what's going on? Oh, food limit. Well, we're getting a lot of food. No, don't slaughter the cows. Not yet. Although it might be good to reach that cap here at a point, because then they'll help get stone. Alright, took care of that food cap. And we're going to put our ducks in here. And we're going to assign... I guess we need 2. That's going to do it. Alright, that puts us, well, okay, we're right back at 4 and 3. We don't need the builders right now. Oh yeah, we do. We need the builders for the road. We'll just keep 1. Because we're probably going to go with a church next. I don't want to see happiness start to dip. Health has been kind of stable, even though it's not perfect. This herb mender, I don't know how good of a job they're doing of keeping people healthy. Probably need an apothecary at some point. I don't think an herb mender does the job totally. An herbalist also. I'm assuming that the land-based ones have a little bit more variety and power than the dock-based ones, but I might be wrong about that. I'm still not 100% sure on how all that works, but I know that they create different poultices, or however you pronounce it, have effect on your citizenry and their health. Come on, build those roads. Do we not have the stone for it? We have some stone, but it is low. They're up here doing their thing, huh? Alright then, why don't you get this stone that's... I'm lost now. You can get lost in the bayou quite easily. Keep that in mind if you ever go down there. Very easy to get lost. Alright, let's collect this stone. That'll be a little bit closer to us. Or to get rid of all this. Tall order, so I'll let them do that. Shift everybody into... Oops, I meant to shift you into labor. There we go. So those guys will get to work. It'll take a long time to get to 42 ducks. But I expect to see some feathers flowing out of there. You need a lot of feathers for coats, if I recall. So I don't know if we'll be able to like keep our whole population in coats, but we can always split this off into another duck pasture. Of course, precious as real estate is, we're gonna have to think long and hard about that. Alright, we're getting it. Trader. Pigs? Nah. Thanks for the option, but should have ordered chickens. Chickens, I think, produce more feathers than ducks. Ducks produce more meat, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it's a start in the feather game. We're going to deal with it later. I also really want a new trader. There's two things I really want right now. And one is a church, and one is a different trader. I forget which one I want exactly. Let's take a look at that. Under trade buildings. Okay. I want just a regular trading post, first of all. It's an expensive building. 140 wood and 60 stone. I also like an industrial supplier. Get only stuff for industry and construction. Dry goods supplier. Could be nice. Food supplier. And then I don't really mess with all this stuff. We should probably start out with just a regular trading post. Only problem is, it's an expensive building. We don't have a lot of stone. I think we go with a church first if we're trying to conserve ourselves here. Because yeah, the chapel's going to be an expensive building as well. We could just do a parish house, but I think at this point we're a chapel-worthy town. We also need a cemetery. People are starting to die now. I don't know about wedging this church right in here. I think that looks kind of nice. Yeah, that's going to be quite an expensive building, but it's going to be necessary. And then we're also going to do a cemetery. Be sort of right next to it. And if you've ever been to the Bayou, we have raised sarcophagi. We don't bury our people in the ground, even in New Orleans. The water table is so high that it would just kind of float up out of the ground like zombies. You gotta put them above ground in a sarcophagus. Be nice to see that reflected, but we won't. Okay, so we are gonna need some lumber for this. But mostly it's gonna be stone, so we're gonna have to keep on trying to get stone. I will put 2 builders in here. How's our schoolhouse? Not too great. Man, that rope. Gonna buy us everything. Yeah, it's probably a little bit early with all of this. Using up my stone. Alright, I'm gonna turn on the sawmill briefly. Okay. So, because we do need a little bit of lumber. Turn him on just for a little bit. That'll help us get our church constructed. Still more stone over here. There's also some more here. but we are going to need a quarry eventually now that we're building kind of the next tier of buildings. Could probably shift one more builder, but yeah, okay, we'll do that. The laborers are busy right now with all the work I've assigned them, so they're not bringing material. There's just too much going on and not enough people. Good thing we got plenty of food. That's always the scariest part of Banished is like running out of food. So we got that covered. Pretty much everything else, at least in this warm climate, not that huge of an emergency. We just gotta let my laborers finish up before they start, you know, really delivering stuff over here. Got some stone, so I doubt we'll have enough, really, but see how it goes. Yeah, okay, so they're starting to deliver now in earnest. Yeah, of course, the reserve of stone is low. I'd probably like to see a quarry, like, about right here. Know what this is doing. Oh yeah, okay. I put an invisible stockpile out here, didn't I? Now I remember. All my trees are dead because it's wintertime. It's a nice touch. I never really noticed that before. Alright, so no stone, that's the problem now. We got enough for our church. We just are waiting on lumber. Okay. We just don't have enough stone for this. We're not far, though. See if we can maybe make this happen by nabbing some of this. There's another little piece worth nabbing. Anywhere else? This here, but I'm gonna save that for now. Shouldn't have put so much into the roads, but that went down. Could really use some of you students coming of age about right now. Gonna nab. I don't know why they don't just go here, but whatever. That should do it, I would think. That should be enough stone for both projects. We're only missing about 28. Okay, lumber's building pretty fast. We'll turn this guy off once it's done. We don't need that much lumber. Want to preserve our logs, our precious logs. Guy's killing it, Forester. He does like 400, 500 logs a season. I know stone is low, but do we get enough? We're bringing it. 17. If we have to, we can nab some of it. Ooh. We got olives, we got watermelon, we got barley. I'm gonna take this opportunity to like look through here and see if there's anything that I just really want. Coffee's nice. Cotton would be nice to get better clothing. I'm gonna work on that. I mean, flax would be nice too. You can make stuff with flax too, or hemp. I know olives can make oil, but I'm not really anywhere close to that right now. Get some sugar cane. I know that you can turn that into some nice stuff. Tobacco might also be nice. Okay. Custom order every visit. Okay. Gina. We'll have enough rope to buy everything from you. Because it's so precious. Alright, we just need 10 more lumber and 10 more stone. That should be to do. This should cover it, more or less. I should let my food get to its cap, and then all these people will suddenly join us. Yeah, okay, now we're gonna get a bunch of free laborers. Getting some leather out of the deal here. Nice. Not much, but some. Leather's also a good way to go if you want to make clothes, so we might see about doing a hunter's lodge and getting some real leather going. Alright, so this is done. It just needs construction. Let's go ahead and turn you off. Get ourselves that extra laborer back. Cemetery's got almost enough stone. Very close. I'm sure that there's enough in the world now. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? Doesn't look very sturdy, but it looks cool. I don't remember any bricks being involved, but whatever. Pretty modeled, that's all that matters. Gonna improve our citizens' lives a lot. They're gonna have a church and a cemetery. Okay, well, that's just a matter of construction now, isn't it? So, we'll give them 2 more people to work with. We've got plenty of laborers after all, since we're at our food cap. And yeah, good deal. Start thinking about what's next. Look at the ratio. We got 19 to 52. That means we need about 6 more houses. And I know the perfect place. Do 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. I see space for 5 anyway. I don't think I can fit 2 in there. 5 will do it for right now. How many inch rope did I tell you to bring exactly? I told you to bring 100 and you brought 100. We should have some rope now that we can use for upgrades and such. But we won't bother our builders right now because they're... Okay, got the church done. We need a deacon or whatever. 71 members, nice. And cemetery's done. Everyone's just hanging out there at the grand opening. That sounded morbid, but I mean, when you're in a small town, I guess you might not have anything else going on. So the last thing we'll do this episode is get this row of houses started. .com. Boom. And boom. That we can only fit 3. Did I do that wrong somehow? I must have. No? We can only fit 3. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then we can definitely fit 1 more into here. There we go. We can start a row here too at some point. Won't that be nice? But this is 4. This will do for right now. They're gonna run low on logs if we're not careful. Okay, are you producing a bunch of fire bundles? Wow. 790 last season. They all went to here, right? Yeah, we said 1,000. We've got 1,000. Okay. I think we're about ready to start smelting, but the only problem is our labor pool leaves something to be desired. These extra 4 houses should help that. They build fast, man. We need to take a break from building stuff, I think. Our laborers are getting exhausted. So what we could do is build like a proper blacksmith and then shift him to rope also. We could also start thinking about clothing if we get some feathers, which, no, not yet. I think it's chickens do more feathers, ducks do more eggs. Get back to me on that if you're watching and you know the answer. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe just more houses are where it's at. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? Huh. Interlocking porches. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way this looks. We could start another little dock settlement out here and push this fisherman out. But that would also involve a market and probably storage. By the time we got it all done, it would be a little rough. Of course, we should probably save the land in here for agricultural things. I mean, we still need, like, a lot of stuff. Alright, let's see what this trader does, and we'll wrap up the episode. Not Gina, is it? Are you Gina? Oh, you're Kyler. Yeah, I don't need anything. I could order from YouTube, but I'm a little bit lazy to do that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.